Alrighty, what is up, people of the world? It is me again, Alex Swimmer, aka AP3 Jumped, and today I'm reviewing the last episode that came out for last week. Well, it's actually not the last episode, but I decided to make it the last review for the week. Today I'm reviewing, or tonight, I'm reviewing Horoscope, or The Horoscope, excuse me. Yeah, this one is a real doozy. This one I was looking forward to a lot. This one just like a pimple plan was there was a lot of hype for this episode as well, and for very similar reasons. Because this episode, I where do I even begin? So the people that got this that the people I still can't even talk tonight. The thing that got people hyped about this episode was the fact that Lincoln and Sid are were finally going to meet for the first time, and number two, it is another episode that addresses Ronnie Khan or Ronnie Khan. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that name, that shipping name, but yeah, there's heavy implications of that throughout the whole episode. And yeah, there have been plenty of episodes like that. There've already been plenty of episodes like this in the Loud House uh, TV series, in the main series, where they've been all from Lincoln's point of view. But this is the first episode. This is the first like Ronnie Khan episode that's based on Ronnie Yen's point of view. And another thing that made this episode hype for a lot of people is that this was Lincoln's first appearance in the Casa Grande's TV series. So yeah, there's like three big things to look forward to in this episode. And yeah, they were pretty they were pretty I'd say this was very much well worth the hype. There was I feel like there was kind of a lot of fan service. Now, for example, felt that the thing that got the most fan service was like all the Ronnie Khan implications and whatnot. And before I get to all that, I want to address the other things I loved about this episode, because this episode isn't really going to be that much of a plot summary. I'm just going to basically say like just general things about the episode and what I liked about it, and I'm not really going to go any kind of particular order for this. So yeah, first thing I want to mention is the fact that Sid and Lincoln finally got to meet for the first time. It was very brief, but they still met, and that's still really cool. I was led to believe that they were going to, interact a lot more in this episode, but that's not the case. And I guess we'll have to wait for the next graphic novel, Living La Casa Loud, that comes out like next freaking week, I think. Yeah, so I need to go ahead and order that, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, we'll have to wait till then before we can see more prolonged interactions with Sid and Lincoln. Cause yeah, I was really looking forward to that too. So we got just a taste of that in this episode, but it was good though. It was better than nothing. I don't know what else to say. So the next thing, this is Lincoln's first appearance in the Casa Grande's TV series. That's really cool in and of itself, and the whole thing with Ronnie Khan. Now let me tell you something. There's a this is a lot of depth to this thing, what I'm about to talk about here. But Lincoln and Ronnie Yen's relationship, they have had a very interesting ride since they first met back in season 1. Now, I'm going to delve into a bit of history for the sake of this review, and I wish I wasn't so damn sore. That's what working does to you. It makes your body sore. But anyway, so yeah, their relationship started off as sort of, well, Ronnie Ann is she's bullying Lincoln because she secretly likes him, and they it took them a while to get along, and at first Lincoln did try to be a gentleman, and when he did kiss her like way back in Save the Date, I was taken by surprise. I actually gasped at that part in Save the Date. My God, I remember like it was just yesterday seeing it for the first time. My God, that was 3 freaking years ago. Anyway, so after that, their relationship started to improve, and they slowly but surely, it got to the point where Runyon was being less of a bully to Lincoln, and over time she's learning to be more comfortable and friendly with Lincoln, because I'm sort of surmising a lot of stuff that Sunny Eclipse has already said multiple times, but um, yeah, I admire her passion for Ronnie and Lincoln, by the way. Um, the fact that she talks about those two to death, it's very admirable to me, I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah, what the hell else was I gonna say? Lincoln was Ronnie Yen's very first true friend, and therefore he was the first person that she was able to open up to, and Lincoln sort of taught her how to open up a little bit more, and it's been kind of confirmed in the franchise that Ronnie Yen does have a little bit of social awkwardness, and she still shows that in the Casagrandes TV series, where she's sort of babbling and kind of like doing what I'm doing right now, stammering throughout this whole freaking video. She sometimes does that when she interacts with new people. And the only other friend that she's really had is Sid Chang, and I mean she's had. I'm going all over the place with this, but Ronnie Yen had all her city friends. I can't remember all of their names off the top of my head because I don't want to get any of them wrong. But then when she met Sid, and she also became one of Ronnie Yen's best friends, and it took her a while to open up to Sid as well, in the very same way. In the very same way that it took her a while to open up to Lincoln, and the fact that she has two best friends is that's great. And another thing I want to point out that Sunny mentioned was that Ronnie Yen's first city friends, she didn't even make mention about Lincoln at all to them. She sort of kept him a secret from them. Whereas Sid herself says, "Oh, I've heard a lot about you, Lincoln," meaning, of course, that Ronnie Yen has had no problems talking to Sid about Lincoln, and so Sid was willing to help out with the situation in this episode, because the situation with this episode was Ronnie Yen thinks that Lincoln is about to confess his feelings for her, because there's this astrologist earlier in the episode. His name is Ernesto something, I can't remember, but he's saying he's going to he's saying that Ronnie Yen's going to find her lovebird or whatever, and Rosa was she was also stating the same thing that Ernesto was saying. So Ronnie Yen gets super paranoid throughout the whole episode, thinking that she's she's basically not prepared for what Lincoln may or may not have to say to her, because Lincoln is dropping out all these hints he's saying my friend needs advice for this girl. It's kind of a long distance thing, and they've been friends for a while, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, it's just stuff like that throughout the whole episode. Ryan's trying to prevent that sort of conversation throughout the whole thing, and bless her heart, she's trying her hardest. But Lincoln somehow gets the idea that that he wants to tell whatever he wants to tell to Ronnie Yen in front of her whole freaking family. So that leaves Ronnie Yen in sort of a panic. She's like she's forced to endure what is about to come, and so I swear I'm having a hard time getting my thoughts out in this video. I apologize for that, but I sometimes have a hard time putting all my thoughts together. It sucks, but what can you do? So at that moment, Lincoln's about to do his thing, and Ryan's like, no, I don't want you to say whatever you're gonna say, and Lincoln's like, oh, well, I'm not that bad at magic, am I? And Ryan's like, wait, magic? And turns out the reason Lincoln is dressed up in his little black suit that he wore at a restaurant that the two of them were at earlier, that the reason he was wearing it was so he could demonstrate a new magic trick involving like 3 rings. And turns out Ronnie Yen had nothing to worry about. And also, Ernesto was technically correct. Ronnie Yen did find a love bird, but it was actually a literal love bird that Sid was looking for earlier in the episode. She even had this net that she was trying to fetch the bird with, and yeah. Anyways, I'm jumping around a lot in this review. So go back to the part where Lincoln is about to go back home, and this is like a really sweet scene. This is one of my favorite scenes. And earlier in the episode, Lincoln and Ronnie Yen are in their bedroom watching cat videos, and they're laughing together. And Lincoln is like, I miss this. You, me, cat videos. I really love that scene. And then this next scene, I really love as well. So it's when Lincoln's about to depart. Ronnie Yen is about to punch him in the shoulder like she usually does. Lincoln's trying to brace himself for it, but she holds off on doing that. She just straight up doesn't do that, and instead embraces him in a warm, friendly hug, stating that I'm glad we've still stayed friends. And then Lincoln was like, well, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we be friends? And also, the person that Lincoln was referring to, by the way, was actually Rusty. It turns out he was dealing with a long-distance relationship. Although there are theories that Lincoln was maybe referring to himself in secret and was lying about the whole thing, that this is what Rusty is dealing with, not me. And there are a lot of what do you call it? I guess, well, Ronnie Yen's sort of suppressing, not sort of, she's definitely been trying to suppress her feelings throughout the whole episode. And, so yeah, there was a lot to talk about and digest for this episode. So, what did I like about it? I mean, first off, I loved it. It was great. It lived up to the hype. It lived up to my expectations. I think it lived up to a lot of people's expectations. And this is one of those episodes that was a little harder for me to review because I had to talk about a bunch of other shit related to the damn episode. And yeah, so I really loved this episode, and you know, I hope I'm just gonna say it, I do hope Lincoln and Ronnie Yen wind up together at some point. I really do, man, because their relationship it's been an interesting ride, and it's only going to get better from here. We'll see who confesses first. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, only time will tell with that. So, like I've said on this channel before, and saying to myself since 2010, good things come to those who wait. Actually, actually longer than that, but anyway. Also, another thing I loved about this episode that was that George Lopez finally guest starred in the in the Loud House franchise. He finally guest starred. He played Ernesto. I heard that voice. I'm like, is that George Lopez? That's George Lopez. That's fucking George Lopez. Yeah. I know that guy when I see him. Yeah, he's one of my favorite comedians of all time. Loved his television series. I watched all of those episodes, I think. But it's been years since I've watched this show. I need to watch his show again if I can. I'll find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's another motto I have. Anyway, this video's gone on way too long. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe. Like the video if you liked it, and ring the bell to be notified of future videos I make. And if you liked the episode, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Do you ship Ronnie Yen and Lincoln? What do you think the status of their relationship is going to be in the future? Tell me all of that in the comments below. I'm very interested to hear what you got, all you guys have to say. I couldn't have a guest star in this video, unfortunately, but maybe next time. And also, I'm sorry the fact that I don't know how to. I'm sorry that some of these videos still seem a little disjointed, and like I don't know how to gather my thoughts for videos like this. I thought I'd learned how to do that by now, but I guess I'm just more exhausted from long work days than I realize. So I apologize for that. So I'm gonna try to sound a little bit more. There's going to be a little bit more structure to the way I say things from now on. So I'm going to work on improving my delivery. I feel like my information is good, but my delivery needs work still. So bear with me on that. So again, this is one of those harder episodes to review. So stay tuned for more Loud House and Casa Grande's episode reviews, because yeah, there's a lot more coming, and look forward to that. So once again, I'm Alex Wimmer, aka AP3 Jumps. Thank you so much for watching until the end. That is it for me, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Another thing I need to quit doing is looking at the screen instead of looking at the camera lens, because yeah, I tend to look at myself, the camera screen. But what I should be looking at is the damn camera lens, because that's where I should be making eye contact. Because if I look at the screen, there's no eye contact. Looking at the screen, looking at the lens. Looking at the screen, looking at the lens. I'm sure you've noticed this by now, but even I still have things to work on in my videos. You live and you learn.